to read the PowerPoint.
No, what we're doing?
5 no money down techniques.
Oh, yeah.
Got the PowerPoint ready to share.
Test. 1, 2.
Let's go.
There you go.
What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for joining us. This live podcast from Broke to Millions, where we share the secrets for life, money, and real estate. This podcast is for the person who wants to elevate their life, money, and real estate game. A real life monopoly, whether you're a sophisticated investor or a beginner, whether you want to be active or passive, credited or non-accredited, I will share with you all my real estate, life, money experiences. I will share my ups and my downs so you can leverage my experience so you can turn it all the way around, because here at Nassau, we are the #1 real estate experts with real solutions. How you guys doing, man? Everybody good? Somebody said, I can't hear you. Ain't that a blip? Let's, you know what? I'm going to switch to...
Can you hear us?
No, this is on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to switch to my Bluetooth. And I'm going to pull that out. And let's see if they can hear us now. Where's my Instagram? All right, can you hear us on Instagram now? Let's see what they say.
I'll check it.
Okay. All right, let's get back to it. So look, man, this podcast is brought to you by not only one, but 2 different things. From Broke to Millions. From Broke to Millions. Go from broketomillions.com. Go to broketomillions.com and get your book where I share all the real estate secrets. Find the good and the bad in the deals. How to make money in apartments. And how to hear fire engines while they drive past the studio. You can get it right here. And look, coming soon, September, the Bird 360. You're like, what? What's Bird 360? Man, it's going to be one of the biggest conferences in real estate in the history. It will be huge. As though Donald Trump, that was the only good thing he said. Huge. Seriously, man, whether you want to wholesale, flip, houses, development, raise capital, all of those things. We have my man Nate. We're going to have people that raise millions of dollars. We're going to have people that develop. We're going to have some big name speakers, which I'm not going to tell you. It'll be a surprise, mainly because I don't know yet. I know, but I'm waiting on commitments. But these really, really big names. Really big names. They're
It's
like
a really big shoe. It's a really, really big shoe.
And big name, big shoes. But man, let's give it up all the way from the Philippines, the Asian persuasion. My man, he's back in the building. Wendell the Gooseman. What's up, brother?
All right, guys. It's good to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Yeah, man. Life is just no fun without Wendell.
We missed you.
All right.
Now look at Wendell, man. He looks like a brand new man, doesn't he?
He is, man.
Look at
Look
him.
at he like a couple of years.
I just woke up.
Literally.
That's why
He literally just got off the plane.
I just
like,
woke up. Yeah. Yep. So, Mike, we will talk about this topic that a lot of people say it's a scam.
what?
Yep. But you've done this like
Man, this is how I got
over
money.
and over again. And guys, we will talk about 5 no money down techniques, not just one. Not
Man,
just
that's
two,
too many techniques
but
to
5
share.
no money down techniques. So we will lay it all, we will lay it out for you guys. No secrets.
I don't
It's
want
all
to.
there,
I don't want to give
okay?
up all that information, man.
And then, guys, we don't have a guest to interview. However, we allocate this time because there's so many questions about this topic and other topics as well that the members of Burr Invest and Apartment Investment Secrets have a ton of questions for you, Mike, and you will answer each and every questions that they have. Yep, or we will. I'll help you answer some of them.
Y'all making me work, man.
And then, guys, don't.
Ain't that what you signed up for?
Yeah. Why your mic? You keep. Oh, you ain't got no stand for your mic.
Yeah, it keeps falling, so I'm just gonna hold it.
Oh Lord.
I feel like a rapper.
And then, guys, stay until the very end of the show because the end of the show, for me, it's the 5 most valuable minutes. Mike goes about,
Mike goes ham.
how to think like a millionaire. We call it Mike's Millionaire Mindset Monologue because all of these techniques, these 5 na money down techniques, you can learn all of it, right? You can spend years studying it or whatever. But until you believe it's possible for you, then nothing happens, right? So your mindset is very important, So
Man, you gotta put that work in, man. Hey, man, look, the difference between success is actually the work.
Yep.
I just wish I could tell you. Everybody gets all scientific about, well, if you do it like this and then this and this makes this and this, like, man, stop all the explanation and just do.
Yep, just do the work. Yep. All right, Mike. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
All right, man, and everybody at Instagram, Facebook, tell us where you're from, where you're checking in at. I love to hear from you, man. I love the thumbs up and the waves and the loves and the hearts and everything, man. And look, send me some shout outs and let's get this started. All right, let's go, Walt. What is this, a typewriter or cashier? What is this? I appreciate the one heart. I got like one heart that just floated up. I can't really vibe off one heart. I need more than just one, okay? 5 ways to buy real estate with no money down. This is a Broke to Millions podcast. In case you didn't know me, I've been investing since 1999. I'm still waiting on my extra heart from Instagram. Lost it all in 2002, 2003. Recovered. Now we have 1,500 units, 40 houses, industrial, warehouses, parcels of land, which, by the way, we'll probably start development. Thanks for my hearts. And we just closed on the land for our development in Sarasota. So I know I've been talking about that. Yes, thank you. We've been talking about that for a minute, and it is now in process. All right? And got 3 more developments in pipeline. With a major, did I tell you early? A major real estate conference. It's going to be huge.
Yep, it's going to be huge. We should call it the huge conference. Real estate conference. That's what the title should be.
the huge.
Spelled as HUUUUGE.
AKA the Burr 360. More importantly, I bought these deals with no money down. Look, I'm going to tell you a secret. Nah, I'm not. You're going to have to listen. Keep going. I bought these with no money down. Yes. No money came out of my pocket. Well, somewhat, but nah. No money was out of my pocket. Yeah, because the money I generated to use to come out of my pocket actually came from another pocket. Huge. And I know you're wondering, like, how can you buy these beautiful buildings? By the way, that my Stay Bridge, man, not so beautiful. Somewhere around there, the siding blew off on the side of the building. I'm like, what the heezy? Yeah, it happens, man. Even on apartments, it happens on your hotels. All right, let's go to the next one. Heschel Link came to a one-day seminar. He bought 3 properties, and he did this deal. This was 19 units, 16 units?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was $400,000. He did it with no money down. No money came out of his pocket, and he benefited from it. That's pretty impressive.
In this picture, he looks very excited at what he did.
He was
Yeah, in
very.
fact, I think you can click on it and it's like a video.
Is it? Will it? I don't know if
Try
that
it,
one
try
has
it.
it. Click on that one. See.
Let's try it. Or maybe it won't play.
Nah, I won't play on that one. You
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
I remember that one. But I know some of you are like, but Mike, every lender I talked to told me that they won't give me a loan if I have zero down. That might be true. I think you might be right. But it's thinking out of the box, using what you have. All right, let's go to the next one. If you approach a lender, yes, they're going to tell you you need to put 20% down. They always going to say you need to have some skin in the game. But listen, doesn't mean it has to come from you.
Yep.
Quite frankly, banks know it's not going to come from you most of the time.
Especially if you're dealing with apartments and
Yeah,
hotels.
apartments, hotels, they know you ain't got no money. They know you got some money. But we're going to show you how you can do all these deals and not have to worry about the cash. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So no money down technique number one. This is the easiest one you can do. You just got to find a willing and able seller. I've found numerous deals just like this. Well, the seller did financing. Yes, you don't have to go to the bank all the time. You can go to a seller and say, hey, finance this deal. And you'll be like, well, why would they want to do that? Well, I'm going to give you a number of reasons. Well, one reason why somebody may do a seller finance of this, they don't really want to sell. They do want the cash flow, but they don't want to sell. Look, if you had a building that you own and it was bringing in cash and you ain't have to do with the three T's, tenants, toilets, and trash, I think you would keep that building. My leases where I just do a triple net lease, I love those buildings.
Yep. No work.
I get a check every month and I don't do anything.
Yep. You get money with no work.
Now, don't
When
get
the
me
work
wrong.
has been done.
Yeah,
earlier.
we did the work
Yeah.
previously. I'm not gonna say we ain't do anything, but yeah, like this building here. No, now this one was even exceptional. This is an exceptional one. We had no money out of pocket. Did you realize you could be a property manager and just take over the building? We were the property manager on this deal. It was the Carlton, 41 units in Bond Hill. The owner didn't want to spend the money to renovate. And we were like, well, look, even if you don't renovate, let's push the rents. And he was like, I don't want to displace anybody. And I don't want to deal with, covering the expenses if when we push the rents, the tenants move out. I was like, look, man, you're leaving way too much money on the table and you're making it difficult because if we don't raise the rents, you're going to have to pay for all these expenses. He was like, you know what, Mike? I don't want it. I don't want to do it. And I was like, well, you know what? We'll do it and we'll cover the cost. And he was like, if you do that, just make sure I get $1,500 a month. You make sure the mortgage paid and pay me $1,500 a month. It's a deal. And we did it. That was it. I don't even think he got $1,500. I don't even really remember how to do it. I think because the mortgage, whatever. We made over and above that. And then, is it on the next slide? Yep. Go to the next slide. No, it wasn't on it.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it going to
No, it's not. Yeah. But you guys made like $627,000
over $600,000 on that
profit.
deal.
Yeah. In just 15 months.
Yeah, and we didn't do anything on that.
Well, you've turned it over.
Yeah, I mean, but we turned a couple of units. We didn't even renovate all the rest of the units. We cleaned them up. We upgraded some of the cabinets. I mean, and the rents went up. I mean, the rents.
You showed the buyer from Canada like proof of concept, right? Like more than 20%, I think, of the units you've renovated.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we showed them proof of concept and showed we could get rents. But like, it was timing as well. Rents just kept increasing. Man, do you realize, man, I got a 2-bedroom in Garden Lane, which is Bond Hill, which would be considered a C neighborhood. Section 8 is paying $1,000 a month.
For a 2-bedroom.
Now, I know you over there like, what the heezy? Bond Hill, $1,000 a month. Like, these were places where we thought never would get any money.
Yeah.
I thought Bond Hill would stay at 500, 600, and we thought that was a lot for that area. Mm-hmm. Rents jumped up to $1,000. And look, this ain't like over a 5-year, 6-year period. It went from like 5 to 6 to like 1,000 in 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of mad. That's why I don't want to sell nothing else. But I'm selling now, but I'm buying nicer projects, nicer deals. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, man, I'm just going to hold on and keep pushing the rents. Right?
Yeah.
So, no, pretty excited. So how do you find no money down seller financing? How to find it? Well, look for apartment buildings that needs repairs. Look for places where the rents are lower than the market and the tenants are, have a 1 star. Literally.
1 star rating.
Yeah, when the tenants give a 1 star rating, do you know they're probably not happy and the landlord's not doing a good job.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying 1 star. You know how you read your reviews? You go to Home Depot or Amazon, right? Mm-hmm. And they'll be like all these different reviews, and some are 3-star, 4-star. But when you see consistent 1 star,
yeah,
some of you like, ooh, this is terrible. I don't want nothing to do with it. To me, the dollar signs pop up.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah, that's when the opportunity pops up for me. I'm like, I don't want to live there, but I guess what? I can fix it up so I can live there.
Yep.
That's the key. All right. Here's some ways you can find them. Driving for dollars. Some of you are like, well, what's driving for dollars? Literally, you're driving around looking at a building that looks like this. Some of you can't see it here on Instagram. Look. That building looks bad, but over here, look, nice bricks, clean.
I didn't notice the neighboring building. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you got nice.
That can be an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, when you see a building that looks out of place, that's rusty or condemned or blighted,
bricks, cracks on the
bricks.
facade,
I mean, it just doesn't look well manicured like the rest of the areas. That's a place you want to find out.
That's true. Yep.
It could be a lot of work. And look, maybe it's not for you. Well, then you wholesale it, which I just gave one away. Damn it. Mm-hmm. I gave one away. You can wholesale it, and that was a no money down deal. All you did was put it on the contract.
That's true. That's not even discussed in the slides.
I'm giving too much information. What's that? Somebody asked, what's the bed and bath on the Bond Hill unit?
The 41 units?
Yeah, it was like 30. It was like half and half. They all had 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and then I can't remember. It was 36.
36 1 and
the rest were 2s.
5 2s. Yeah, and then there's 1 unit that is the property management.
Yeah, it was the efficiency studio.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, checkapartments.com. Oh, we had somebody attended our seminar for 1 day. Look, I'm about to have a 3-day seminar. People were killing it after a 1-day seminar.
Yeah, like Heschel.
Heschel and then
with no money down.
What was his name?
Fatima.
Fatima, there you go. Yeah. She used this technique to go to apartments.com where she saw the low star rating. She saw where the rents were below market, and she found a deal.
Yeah, in fact, she found 2 deals.
Wholesalers. Now, I still love wholesalers, man. My partners, wholesalers, they always bring in deals. And they find, a lot of most wholesaler deals are off market. I'm not saying they are never on market, but most wholesalers, they find their deals off market because, people call them and, they get rid of the deal. And so they check for code violations list. That's another place. Wendell, you really used to like that. I used to buy some off of code violation, not necessarily going to the list. What I actually did was I found out about properties that had major code violations. And in Cincinnati, they start coming down hard on people.
Yeah.
And like, we're going to condemn your building. And I'm like, dude, man, this is what you do. All right, I'm going to show you. It's not as bad as before, but they'll still press you. But what they want you to do, at least in Cincinnati or Hamilton County, they want you to file a vacant license permit. Literally, you got to pay for your building to be vacant. That's crazy.
So you paid that annually?
Yeah, well, you finagled it. right? It's a way of doing it. I can't even remember what I did, but we'd just fill out the paperwork, and by the time the paperwork came due, we sold the building or we did some work. It was a combination of either selling the building or we did some work to it.
Got it.
Bottom line, when you find out, but that takes them for trying to put it on the condemnation list where they actually eventually tear your building down.
Yeah.
But look, they were tearing building downs, and there was really nothing wrong with it. I mean, now,
And that's why, Mike, the landowner or the property owners who have code violations. I mean, especially not the tall grass and so on, but the ones where the city is threatening to condemn your building. Those property owners are very motivated to get rid of the building, and that's why they're willing to do whatever you tell them to do. Which is, hey, let me take over. I'll tell the city to stop the condemning your building. I'll file the paperwork. I'll pay the fee, but then you're able to get the building with no money down.
Yeah, because I mean, these are people who've never owned real estate, or they inherited real estate or property, and they just took over. And so, they took over and they had tons of issues. So let's go to the next one, man. No money down too. Listen, let me be clear.
This is your favorite technique.
Yeah. Look, you do need money. It just doesn't have to be yours. Look, you can syndicate money. Yes, I do it all the time. No, I don't have $4 million cash laying around. Let's be clear.
And that's kind of not
so
smart to have $4 million laying around.
I will be balling in a minute. I will be balling. I'm actually refining this in a couple of. So I'm about to ball out.
Nice.
But before I even got to that point, I didn't have $100,000. Hell, I didn't have 20 grand or $5,000. I had to go borrow money from somebody.
That's true. Your first deal, you had to put $3,000, but you only put $1,000 down.
Yeah, I with owner financing. There was another deal I did. I did a credit card. Now, unfortunately, you can't go get a credit card for $4 million. But some of you may have houses or real estate that you can get a line of credit.
That's true.
But
that's actually part of another technique, which is called hustling.
But the bottom line is syndicate, raising capital. Now, the thing about syndicate, you may have to talk to a lot of people before you get your one person or multiple people. Now, some syndications have as many as, 50, 60 different people. Some syndications, I don't necessarily when you're at like 5 people, I don't really consider that syndication, but technically it's labeled as that. But I say syndication is more about 10 or more people. Other than that, you're just kind of raising money with some partners. But yeah, if you go out and syndicate, and my deal in Sarasota, I raised $5 million through syndication. These deals you're looking at here, these apartments, syndication. I think they raised $4 million between 20 people. Yeah. So, hey, man, it's great.
That deal got oversubscribed too.
Yeah, and it's a great location. It's Marymount of Cincinnati, a location. And the rents were just low. And it was an older group that owned it, and they just didn't want to do the renovations. They sold it, and then, you know what? Now they saw what we did to it.
Oh, now
they was like, because I was like, why are y'all going to buy a new building? Y'all can just get a new loan, renovate it, and push the rents. Like, we doubled the rents, literally.
Wow.
Like, these homes all the way in the back, sitting on top of the hill.
Yeah, those are townhomes.
Yeah. They were renting those for $900. I was conservative. Huh?
That's a deal.
Yes. I was conservative. Yeah, I was conservative in saying we could rent it for like $1,300. We're renting those for $1,600, $1,800.
Yeah.
Literally doubled. I was like, do you know the value created in that?
That's
you probably could
crazy.
get more for that property too if you can probably push it a little more.
We are. I mean, the rents just keep going up. I feel bad, but I don't feel bad. If you know what I mean. I do have a heart.
You got that.
I'm not just a capitalist. I do like making money. But oh well, it's part of the game, right?
Yep. I
Really?
yeah,
Huh? Just a capitalist. Okay.
Just-
All right. Who else we got? What we got next? We have many success students whom we taught to raise private capital. Man, I was just talking to George Fry yesterday. George Fry, not only he went on Facebook, he attracted 9 million. He's got an investor now that's got 2.5 million. And he was like, Mike, I hit a wall. I hit a wall. I said, what kind of wall? Like, is your face okay? Like, no, not that kind of wall. Like, I can't. I'm having struggling with the deal. I said, well, I said, George, you got to have one or two things. You got to have the deal or the money. Which one you got? Well, I kind of got a deal. I said, well, if it ain't a home run deal, you ain't got nothing. He said, well, I do got some money. I said, how much you got? 2.5. I said, you got yourself a deal. Right? So he's checking out his investor now. I mean, he said the investor only wants to make 10%.
Oh, wow.
I said, dude, we do that in our sleep.
Yeah. I mean, we double our investors' money.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's 20% per year, essentially.
Yeah, Madeline P. She went on Twitter, which I'm terrible about. By the way, Elon is taking a run at that.
Yeah.
He's making Twitter relevant again. I guess everything. I mean,
yeah, we should go on Twitter once Elon buys it. Let's see.
I need a Twitter, but I'm not good at that.
Yeah, we have like 400 followers on it.
400? That's improvement.
Yeah. I mean, Madeline Pay, I think, has less than that, but she's able to raise money.
Which is the point. You don't have to have 20, 30, 40,000 followers.
Yep.
All you need is your base. You know, just share relevant information. Share information that'll add value to people. And because of that, they're making money. Tim Vest, he's an introvert. Don't even want to talk to nobody.
Yeah, he said, Mike, I can't do this. I just want to,
I just want to find deals.
I just want to find deals. I don't want to talk to people.
He took what we gave him and ran with it.
Yep.
Raised over 800,000 just from people we met on LinkedIn.
Yep. And that's the money he raised personally.
Yeah, Allison, she just shared it amongst her family and raised just shy of $1 million. And they're just ready to go. I know for a fact anytime she can raise like 200 to 300. She's a go-getter. Nice. She's got the ultimate hustle. She buys properties in different cities, hair salon, taking multiple courses. Like she's nonstop and sells her own chemical products. She's a beast.
Cool.
She's a nice beast, though. All right, let's go on to the next one. How to raise private capital. Man, we'll cover this in detail in our Big Deal Maker Coaching Mastermind program. This is by application only and apply if you have some real estate investing experience or leadership. So go to NassauInvest.com/waitlist, NassauInvest.com/waitlist. Sign up. We got something amazing there. People are really learning and networking, putting deals together. And don't get left out in the cold. You get it.
Yeah, I mean, people ask you, Mike, about coaching all the time, and this is the only way for them to get coaching.
Yeah, I mean, because I was like, man, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, man, how you gonna do coaching and you do this? Yeah, we got a system in the team, brother.
Yep.
And just like if you use these no money down techniques, you can do the same thing. I just thought bigger. You guys just want to continue to use it for your single family. Man, you can get you a hotel. I'm going to tell you now, it is a challenge. But you got to put your team together. I didn't say I did it overnight.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's a process.
It was a process. But I put my overall goal. I put my 5-year goal. I actually had a 20-year goal.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. You just got to go all in, man. Who wants to go all in? Yes or yes? Yes or yes. Who wants a hotel? Yes or yes? Yes or yes. Who wants to do these no money down techniques and acquire real estate to build a net worth? Yes or yes?
Definitely yes.
Okay. All right. We'll see. I use this technique. I did where I assumed the debt and they waived the fee.
Yeah, the assumption fee.
Yeah, I bought this. My last 3 hotel deals, I did it on loan assumption.
Nice.
Some may call it, in layman's terms, a subject to. I did a subject to.
Yeah.
All
But
I
this
did
one
was the same techniques, man. I'm not doing it. I wish I could tell you I was doing something really extraordinary, really different, really something that separates me apart. And these were stuff I learned back in 89, 92. No, 86.
1986.
Yeah, because I was like 15, 16 years old when I read about these books. 15 years old, I'm still using it today.
Nice.
You can take what you're learning today and use it today, man.
And use it for the next 10 years, 20 years.
30,
even.
40, 50.
Yep.
Like I'm not, I'm saying I'm retired now, but I will never stop buying real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't, I don't know why I wouldn't. Like, it's just, you just keep doing it. You just keep growing.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what mortgage assumption is, basically you, instead of getting a new loan from another bank, you just take over the existing loan. So, but we'll discuss more of that. But the first technique, seller financing, where did the money come from? Essentially the seller, right? The second technique that we discussed, syndication, where did the money come from? Investors. And then the third technique, mortgage assumption, where did the money come from? Banks. Okay, the current lender. So
Yeah.
the money again doesn't have to come from you.
How many more techniques we got? We got 2 more?
2 more.
Give me a drum roll, please. I got a drum roll. Let's go to the next one. Then the next technique, number 4, is.
I think we still.
Oh,
I think it's the next
it's
one.
still okay. Number 4 is normally done technique number 4, a second mortgage, credit and prorations. I talk about all of this in my book from BrokeToMillions.com. By the way, if you don't have the book, go get it now. Get the book, okay? You get the seller to hold a second, where a 10% carryback. Yes. You can say, hey, man, whether you're doing a $100,000 deal or $1 million deal or $5 million deal, you can get the seller to hold a second. You're like, look, man, I need 50 grand, or let's say you need 30 grand, right? Hey, man, hold 10%, 20%, hold 10,000 until I refinance. You know why they will do it? Because you gave them a bulk of their money. I've done it numerous times where I gave the seller a second mortgage to close a deal. Because, I mean, look, I only paid $300, and I was saying, hey, I want $1.1 million, where I really only cared if I got $800. And guess what? They was like, would you hold a second for $1 million, on $1 million, so that's $100 grand? I was like, bet, because I didn't think I was going to get that in the first place. So those are great. Buyer's credit in exchange for a higher price. For example, hey, man, will you give me a credit? I was just talking about this the other day. One of my guys, he's up in Columbus, and he has some major land, downtown Columbus, prime downtown.
Oh, the guy who we were just talking about?
Yeah, when I was talking about cousin Scotty.
Just before the
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah, right before the podcast. We were saying, look, man. He was like, look, man, but I got my investor, and they said they'll bring the money, but they want their money back. I said, this is what you do, bro. This is what you do. You ready? You ready? You ready? There you go. You're saying that he wants 2.5. Get him to agree to $2 million. If he agrees to $2 million, say, look, let's write the contract for 2.5. I'll give you an extra 50 grand if you agree to it and give me a credit back at closing.
Or 500,000.
It's really that simple. It's really that simple. I quit. I'm done. I ain't teaching no more. I'm giving you all my ideas, and then y'all just gonna take them and leave me out of the money. Damn that. Damn that. Y'all gonna give me some of this money. Where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. That would have been good if you would have played the song. Where is it at?
It's in the old system.
Oh. You got a new one?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. Where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. That's where the money reside, in the contract.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta break it down, man. My money's hitting everywhere, man. Another way you can get it when you buy an apartment complex, this is really good. Close on the 1st of the month.
Or as early as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because guess what? They got to give you a proration of rent. Let me break it down real small for you. So, for example, let's say the rents and the deposits, right? They pay $1,000 and the deposit was $500. Okay. If you close on the 1st of the month, when you go to that closing table, the seller gives you a credit for the deposit, which let's say is $500, and then they'll give you the first month's rent, which is $1,000. Now, if you close on the 15th, then they're only going to give you $500. If you close on like the 28th, you're only going to get, I don't know, 10,
2 days
20,
worth of
2 days
rent.
worth of rent.
Yeah,
all right?
which is not much.
So my point is, if you got 100 units paying $1,000 a month, guess how much cash you'll get at closing or credit? You can get a credit of $100,000
Yep.
at the beginning of the month.
In addition to 50 grand for the
Yeah,
deposit.
so instead of having to bring $500,000 to closing, you now only got to bring $400,000.
Yeah.
I'm about to give some more away. And then
Well-
if you get them to agree to a higher price and give you an exchange for some maintenance or some other construction, guess what? You can bring even less money. I'm telling too much. I'm telling too much.
Yeah, on your book, Mike, on
Yeah.
page 132 to 133.
Yeah.
Well, actually, from page 131 to 133. So you discuss a deal where, it was $4 million.
$4 million.
And normally, right, you
Yeah.
will need to put 20% down. so
Which
that's
would
at
be
least
800, yeah.
Yeah, 800,000.
And what we do.
But the techniques that you discuss in here,
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, just discussing these techniques of
Yeah.
using a seller's second, buyer's
So,
credit,
yeah.
deferred maintenance credit,
Yeah.
and the prorations,
Yeah.
you end up with like 36,000 down payment.
Woo!
I mean, some people can get that from a credit card or a home equity line
Yeah.
of credit or can borrow money.
Done.
But $4 million deal, you can do it with just less than 1% down. That's crazy.
Well, give a drum roll, please, man. Let's go down to the final and last one. No money down technique. Number 5 is... You got to change the slide. I don't know. You got to hustle. Hey, man, but I ain't hustling for no $5, man. What club is this? You making it rain for $5? It should be hundreds, man. This is a strip club.
10s in there, some 20s.
You got 5. I don't see a 20 in there. Oh, there's one up there.
There's
There's
even
one
a
20.
50, I think.
There's a 50?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a
Yeah,
50.
there's a 50.
There's a 50. Okay, all right.
funny.
Okay.
Man, he got a couple.
He got a little bit,
got a
but
little
I would have.
something there, man.
He got a floss
Man,
harder
you know
than
what?
that.
It's variety. He has variety.
Man, that should have been all 20s and 50s and 100s, man.
Variety. There's different
he
walks of
tripping.
life out here, Mike.
Man, he tripping, bro. Yeah, I mean, you can hustle, but look, man, look, again, it don't necessarily, you might already put money away. Look, do you realize you can pull out your cash value of your life insurance? Yes, your life insurance policy has a cash value that you can borrow from, and you don't have to go to the bank. I bought multiple real estate properties, condos. I bought multiple condos, all cash.
Using your
My life
life
insurance.
Nice.
I had 20, 30,000 in equity, and I pulled it out of my life insurance policy. Some of you may have a HELOC, home equity line of credit, for 50, 100, 200 grand. Or you just may have a line of credit, period. Matter of fact, Adam Gunn, one of our investors, he went and got a line of credit where he's only had, 1.5%, 2%? It was
That's
stupid
crazy.
low.
Wow.
He used it to be a passive investor. He wasn't even an active investor. He did it as a passive investor. The cash flow that he generated for his equity share, paid the debt and a little more, and then the property refinanced a year later. He got 115%.
Nice.
No, 125% of his money back.
Which deal is that? Is that the
It was a small deal. It was a 40-something unit, 50 unit in Mount Healthy. So he ended up getting like 135,000 back, and he still owns his equity in the deal.
Nice.
And it came nowhere out of his pocket.
Nice. So that's what you call arbitrage. You use someone else's money, in that case, the line of credit, and then you invested that money and generated even higher income from that than the cost of the money.
That's right. And then look, you even got credit cards. Look, man. Yes, you can. For those you don't know, man, you can actually use your credit card for more than just going on vacation and buying clothes. Ooh, I think I just got somebody. Oh, yeah, man. Quit using your credit card just to buy clothes and vacation and going to BW3s. Well, that's me. I go to BW3s on my credit card all the time. I be getting my points. But when I first started, man, I used my credit card to do multiple deals. That's how I financed my deal. I couldn't have a bank, and I needed like 10 grand to buy my first. Well, not that one. It was another deal, but no, I'm sorry. That was David. I got David to do it. He needed 10,000 down. He actually had cash to close, but he didn't have enough money to do the renovations. He put all the renovations on his credit card.
Nice.
And he lived there and lived for free. Then he sold the house, took the cash from the deal, took a portion of that money he made and used it for a down payment, and then went and bought another deal.
Nice.
Man, David. I ran into David at a track meet. Our kids were at a track meet, and he recognized me. I was like, Mike, that was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And I was like, well, haven't you done it again? I don't know, but it was one of the best times of my life. Now, this is something I did. I needed, I don't know, like $4 grand down, $6 grand for closing, for the down payment. My realtor was going to get $6,000 or $7,000 back as his commission. I said, yo, check this out, homeboy. I didn't say it like that, but kind of sort of, because he was an old white dude, man.
Okay.
He hooked me up, man. He was like, Mike, I see you grinding, son. I see you grinding, nephew. I'm going to hook you up. I said, cool, man. I need your commission. He was like, whoa, what? What'd you say? Get your hand out of my pocket. I was like, no, for real, man. Let me borrow $6 grand for the closing. I'll pay you right back at closing. He said, what? I've been doing real estate. There's no way you can pay back. Let me tell you how we're going to do it. He's like, tell me, enrich me, enlighten me. I said, check this out. You see them deposits right there? Yes. Guess what's going to happen? What? I get that back at closing. And back then, they didn't give you a credit on the hood. They actually gave you a check. Then he was like, but Mike, where else you going to get the money? I said, you see that rent? He said, yeah. You said, you know how you kept pressing me to close on the 25th? Yeah. Nah, man. That's why I wanted to close on the 1st, because I collect all the rent, all the Section 8 payments and all that get transferred me on that day. So total, I'm going to bring in $7,000. As soon as I close that, I'm literally going to hand the check over to you and sign it over to you. Guess what? He got a closing, because he other than that, he wouldn't have made $6 grand. So he lent me $6 grand. I paid him back, and he made $6,500, and I gave him a little interest on that. Nice. And that was all no money out of the deal. 401k. I got multiple investors who wasn't making money and left jobs. I said, man, look, man, we're going to take your 401k. We're going to put it in self-directed IRA. We put it in a self-directed IRA. Guess what? I borrowed from them their self-directed IRA, which we then rolled over, use equity trust. And guess what? I borrowed it from 6%, 8%, 10%, 12%. I even paid them points. Guess what? They IRA then went from making 0 or negative to 2%, 4% to 8 to 12%. And they were so happy. They were like, Mike, I want to keep giving you money. I want to make it rain just like this picture in here. And I said, I can't do that with $5 bills, but I will make your IRA rain. And it rained and prospered. And then Jesus came down and he was raining on them. And then they gave them money there. And then you get money, then you get money, then you get money, and you get money. Well, really, all it was, I just rolled a 401k over.
There you go.
I kind of lost it for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You got affected there.
I got the Jesus
Right.
and capitalism.
Basically.
The anointing of Jesus and money and capitalism. It just took over me. It took over.
You really like this technique number 5, hustle.
Hey, man, the hustle is everything. Look, convert an IRA to a self-directed IRA. Peer-to-peer lending. You know, there's more and more groups getting together.
Like crowdfunding.
Yeah, I mean, and look, you don't have to go so big. Mm-hmm. Look, I know, yes, I'm doing multi-million-dollar deals now, but I didn't start there. You remember where I started? I started with a 2-family, and I had to work 3 or 4 jobs for 6 months to save up. I paid off all my bad debt and saved up $3,000. And I didn't have any credit. So those you don't have credit, I got the guy to do owner finance. I did have to bring money, but I didn't have to bring it all. Then I had I just showed you another one where I didn't have money, but I did have credit. So look, man, I'm just telling you, peer-to-peer, like I had a guy call me that other day. I disagreed about what he was doing, but I did like the concept. You know, but this is where you get started. He's like, Mike, I got like 50 people that want to do some investing. I said, well, cool. And he was like, they're willing to put in $100 a month. I said, well, I guess that's okay. Mm-hmm. That's $5,000 a month. Mm-hmm. 5,000 times 12, that's $60,000 in a year. I said, man, you guys, that's the beginning of syndication. You can get you a property. I mean, $60,000 would get him what? A $500,000 property? Is that right? No? A $300,000 maybe?
Times 5, 300,000. Yeah, at the most.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They get you started. And they can make money. Like, you don't have to go all hard. But look, I had people that didn't have any money, but 3 or 4 of them together, they saved up $3,000 a year for 3 years. That was 10, so they saved up $30,000 roughly. Mm-hmm. Did their first deal.
Yep, there you go. You just have to hustle.
That is the grind, baby. But I ain't wearing no suspenders and no clip. I don't wear clips or suspenders.
Okay, guys, but the point of all these techniques, though, like you can save up for it, right? That's one way. But you know, as Mike has shown here, you can use your life insurance, credit cards. Now, again, you know, be careful about using credit cards, obviously, right?
Pay the bill. Because
Yep.
what happens, most people, they ain't disciplined. They be like, ooh, I made all this money. Well, you got to pay your credit card off. Now, look, listen, no money. These no money down techniques, as he's about to say, be disciplined, pay everything back off. You got to pay your credit card, your HELOC, your 401k, your IRA, your peer-to-peer. That is your investor. Your investor is everything. All right? I don't like saying this, but look, man, the investor will get their money back before the bank.
Yep.
Because look, the banks will go away and they'll come back, but you can't get your investor back.
That's true. That's true.
All right?
All right.
Let's go on to the next one, man.
I think that's the last one.
That was it?
Oh, here's an example.
Oh, this is another example. This is next week.
Yeah.
Topic for next week. Walt, one more time. April 28th, 12 noon, which I may be in Atlanta then, but who knows? This is a deal case brought, was $470,000 worth $4.7 million in just 2 years. I'm going to tell you how. And we even used the Burr method. We're about to complete the Burr method on that.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
So you'll sell it or just,
No, I'm gonna refi,
Nice.
baby. They ain't no S in Burr.
That's true. It's not Burrs. It's Burr.
All right, man. What we got next? So if you like to do big deals, apartments, hotels, consider joining our mastermind. That's NassauInvest.com/waitlist. The doors are opening up again.
Yeah.
That's because we're completely at capacity.
We will close it actually by tomorrow. So
Oh, it's closing again?
NassauInvest.com/waitlist.
We just opened it, man.
That's true. Well, since I was out on vacation, maybe we will extend it for a week. You know.
No, man, that's too many students.
You know, Wynn's window is very short.
Man,
it doesn't open.
It's
very
open.
long.
Small window.
You're doing that old
Small
Dave
window.
Chappelle bullshit. You know, Dave Chappelle like, we got a concert. didn't even know you had a concert. I wanted to go.
We'll do it
And then
tomorrow.
sold out. Closed.
Yep.
I'm rich, bitch.
Okay. NASAinvest.com/waitlist. We don't accept everyone though. That's the thing. So
Why you be doing people like that, man?
no, because I mean, because there are some people who are not.
Not mature in their.
No, not that. I mean, I get that part, but I'm talking about that waiting list. You were like, wait list open for 2 hours.
It has been open for 2 weeks.
Hey, bro,
right?
it's gonna get to that point.
It has been open for 2 weeks, but people I mean, we got while I was on vacation. We
Yeah, I
got,
saw,
three-
man. I mean,
three-
people, I was like,
three
people
students.
wiring their money. I was like, yo, what are you doing? You ain't even accepted, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I don't want to lose my spot. I was like, I got you, man. I mean,
Yep.
I guess what we're teaching, we're changing lives. We are, actually. We got a couple of people. Keisha Kennedy is actually leaving soon. I think she's got 1 year. She's out of there. Contract over.
Yep.
Probably shouldn't have said that, but real estate, baby.
Yeah. I mean, Keisha has done what, over 300 units?
Something like that.
Close to 400 now in just 1 year. That's crazy.
All right, what we got, Walt?
All right. So what we have next? Well, let's
All right,
get
bring my camera up, clear this screen out of here. Let's see what we got going on. I think we're doing questions now.
questions first from the audience about the topic, No Money Down, and then after that, we'll answer the questions from Burr and Apartment Investing Secrets.
Okay.
Facebook groups.
Let me go in here. I think I got some on Instagram too. But if you got questions on Instagram, Burr, Apartment Investing Secrets, Facebook, go ahead and ask. What you got? Yeah, we got a lot of people with their hands up and asking questions. I do have it. We're going here. I'm going. You wave that yes.
Thomas Walker, where can I purchase the book? Go to FromBrokeToMillions.com. Let me type it again.
Yep. One of these guys, Eswick, has got a partner in Columbus doing a Section 8 project in the Whitehall. Well, I shouldn't say those areas. Doing $950 to $1,000 a month, 3-in-1, going up to $1,200. Definitely underutilizing. Yes. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, rents are going up.
Anita,
What is the? Oh, go ahead. I'm looking for stuff.
Anita Coley, what do you think about using hard money lenders over syndication?
I mean, so here's the thing. Depends on what your goal is and what you got happening right now. So, hard money lenders, I believe in. I started off with hard money lenders, so I'm for hard money lenders. But hard money lenders can be expensive. But you can look at a hard money lender as technically a partner, because if you went and syndicated, right, the difference between the syndication is the money should be cheaper, right, because you should probably only be paying a preferred, meaning somewhere from 6 to 8%, versus a hard money lender would probably want 8 to 14%.
Yeah, sometimes 15%.
Or 15 plus 5 points.
1 to 5 points.
Yes. So, the syndication route could be cheaper money for you, less expensive, but you got that partner you got to answer to, right? Well, as a hard money lender, hard money lenders are on time frame. So the bottom line is, let me give you an example of some hard money loans I've done. There was a deal in... Oh, right down here. This is not Madisonville. What's down here in the Westwood? Millville. Yeah, I did one in Millville. I think I bought it for like $25,000.
That's an X area.
Huh?
That's an X area.
It's not even an F, it's X. Jesus.
That's an X area.
I haven't heard of that. It's like people are saying, oh, there are 3 types of areas, A, B, and C. And then Mike said, no, there's A, B, C, D, F. And then one's like, no, there's like X area.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I paid $25,000. I got a hard money lender, and I needed $35,000 all in to fix up and acquire. So and he wanted like $10,000 or 10% down. So I already had some properties. I used my existing properties for collateral, right? I went in and rehabbed the property at $35,000, and I was paying 14.9% interest.
Wow.
So what does that equal? Let's see, calculator. So 35,000 times 0.1499. That's 5,000 a year. Let me do it one more time. 35,000 times 0.1499. That's 5,200 a year divided by 12. So that payment was like $437 a month. And let's just say it took me 6 months to do that. So I ended up paying $2,600 in debt, right?
Debt payment.
In debt payment, right? And then he wanted 5 points. So 35,000 times 0.05. That was $1,750. So 1,750 plus, I'm just gonna round it off to 2,600. I paid $4,350, $4.3 thousand for that deal, right? So let's just round. Let's say I was in this for 39,350, right? 39,350. I sold that property for $65,000.
Nice.
So, 65,000 minus 39,350. I'm off a little bit. That was a 25,000 net. Was that worth doing a hard money lender?
Yeah.
I would think so.
Definitely.
Now, I kept 100% of that. But if I would have went to syndication route,
Like a teeny weeny syndication.
yeah, teeny weeny, right?
for
For $10,000, that $10,000 might have cost me 30 to 50% of the deal. 30 or 50%. So that 25,000 I netted. And then you add in the fees. Now I still would have had to pay interest. I wouldn't have had to pay as much points. So instead of paying $4,900, I would have probably paid $3,000. So overall, I would have netted $28,000. But then I had to give 50% of that. Some 70. Some people do syndications the other way.
That's true.
So out of 28,000, if you did it the regular syndication way, they would have had to give up almost $20,000.
Wow.
You did all the work, and you only walked away with $8,000.
Yeah, and then the investors got 20.
Or even if you split it, let's say it was 28,000.
14. They got 14.
You got 14, and then they got 14.
And you did all the work.
And you did all the work. I mean, I'm not hating on me. That's what I do for the bigger deals, but you got to until you get to a point. Like my goal, I don't mind. I want to win with all my investors, but the goal is do some big deals
On your own.
and then I generate my own cash, and I go buy my own hotels.
Yeah.
Now I ain't got to share with nobody. I'm in the sandbox all by my damn self.
Yep. So now it's no money down deal.
Capitalist.
100% down deal.
Get this the hustle, baby. No, but that's why I use a hard money lender. I mean, it just depends on when you want to do it. There was a Benjamin Pete. He says, Mike, do you do ATDs or AIT? I think those are extensions of the housing.
all inclusive deed, trust deed, which is basically land contract in Ohio.
Man, why y'all keep changing the damn name?
It's different for different states, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do land contract. I still sell properties on. I sold one. I just sold one on a land contract.
Yeah.
I still do lease. I'd rather do a lease option instead of a land contract, though. And that's another way of owner financing. Is this existing Zoom? Why is it look like that?
No, that's Facebook, brother.
Those are old
I'm
questions.
just showing you the
No,
questions from
these are
Facebook.
the current.
Oh, these are the
that's,
current.
That's good. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, is the Broke to Millions?
No, because that's Facebook.
That's Facebook.
So
It's not playing.
It's not playing. That's why.
It's not playing. See if I
Oh, you push play, then it's gonna play. All right,
Yeah,
all right. All right. So, yeah, that's where I got. Yeah, take me off because I look delusional.
There's a question that I saw about the mastermind. Is it only for people in Ohio?
out of
Yeah. No, it's not. Eric Mihata.
Yeah, no, masterminds for everybody, man. Wherever you in state, out of state, we do everything online. We'll have a conference.
Yeah, Mike,
locally.
we have members now, mastermind members all the way in Hawaii,
We do.
and we have mastermind members all across the United States. Now we almost got a mastermind member in Alaska, but he has not signed up. So it's basically nationwide now.
All right, Instagram, bear with me. Will you turn on the volume so people can hear? I got to charge the phone up for a second. All right, Instagram, hold on. Is that phone turned up? Turn the phone up.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you hear
All right,
us?
Instagram, hopefully you can hear me. But what was the question? Mike, is your mastermind group for people out of state? I have a 4-unit in a townhouse in Los Angeles, but looking to scale outside of California. And yes, I understand why you want to scale out of California. Although there's still some great opportunities when you do the AUDs. What is it?
ADU.
ADU?
I think, yeah.
Okay, ADU. Yeah, well, you can do ADU. Tim is killing it. Not Tim. Alex Chan.
Alex Chan, yep.
Now, we got to follow up on this project. They said no audio. Okay, you work on that. Maybe I got to turn the volume up.
No, that's not it.
There's already a buzz. I can hear.
This one? Okay.
Okay, so while
All right, we'll go on to this one. We'll be with you right second. Instagram. Hey, Mike, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Generous fun. All right.
there's another question there, Mike.
Where we at?
From Juan Gandara, do you advise to start single family first?
Do you advise to start a single family first? Yeah, I mean, if you're comfortable there, my point is you don't have to just do a single family. If that's what it takes to get your feet wet, then go for it.
Yeah, in fact, one, so let me answer that too, Mike. So why not start if there are deals available in your local market, like fourplexes, right? You can house hack a fourplex, live in one unit, and rent out the other 3. And when you do that, let's say it's a first-time home buyers program, your down payment's only 3.5%. If you're a veteran, it's even better because now your down payment is 0, right? But let's assume it's 3.5% down payment. Now you can use the techniques that Mike discussed in pages 131 to 134 of his book, From Broke to Millions, and for example the prorated rent and security deposits on a 4-unit, and literally you can get your first multifamily. Granted, it's a small multifamily; it's only 4 units, but you can do it with no money out of your pocket because by the time you put in the buyer's credit, the prorated rents and security deposits, you'll end up paying nothing, not even 3.5%. So why not start with 4 units instead of single family?
No, I mean, there's look, I started off doing 2 families. Float your boat. I'm now giving you options where, hey, you don't have to start there. But if that's what's going to get you going, let's go for it. All right?
Yep. And that answers the question from Sulaiman Shah. What size of property should I look for a first deal? So bottom line, it depends on you, but you can do a bigger deal than what you think you can.
Yeah.
With these techniques that Mike discussed with you guys now.
Look, the whole point of me being on here is 1, to show you it's possible. 2, I just thought bigger than you.
Yep.
That's it. I'm not. It's not that I'm better than you. It's not that I'm smarter than you. I got students in my mastermind that are fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they're just fucking brilliant, and it shows because they in their first year and a half they killing it. They had 800 units. So I told you they're brilliant. They just took what we gave them and ran with it.
Yep.
I'm just telling you it's possible. I'm just showing you different techniques on how you can go after it. And then it's up to you. I myself, I'm getting lazier. It's not that I'm lazy. I'm not going to do all this work and not get a great return out of it, right? So that's why I'm going after deals that are profitable. really profitable. I mean, all my deals are profitable, but that's it, man. Go for what makes you happy and you're comfortable with. But at some point, you got to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's just the bottom line.
Cool.
All right.
So Walt, can you show the screen, the Burr Invest? Where, if not, I can show my screen.
What Burr Invest screen?
The one that Mike posted, I own 1,500 doors in 4 hotels.
Oh, okay.
And then there are questions there. Or I can share my screen because I'm there now.
How come this don't work no more, man?
I don't know. Something I'll work on this week.
You want me to do that, Walt? I can
I
share my screen.
do. Let's see if we got any other. Will you save the Instagram live? I will for you today, Maurice. Let's connect about your commercial real estate visuals. We work with Marriott and hotel folks, and you guys at Venture in Cincinnati. Okay.
All right, Mike.
Thank you. What we got?
So let's start.
Oh man, what was they doing on The Simpsons?
Mr. Monopoly.
Okay, there's so many questions here. So
Window, Carrie, you keep going.
so Mike, answer it in 30 seconds or less.
Okay, 30 seconds or less.
Okay.
Drum rolls.
How did you determine your market? 30 seconds.
Okay, I went where I was comfortable at first, quite frankly.
Okay.
I just went to the place, so I was like, oh, I can buy it. I know this area. That was it. Now that I've done it for a while, I've actually studied which markets were the best and where everybody felt that was most profitable after asking that question multiple times. And the same places came up consistently. The South Sun Belt. What are they talking about? Florida. They're talking about Arizona. They're talking about Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, and Arizona and Texas.
Cool. From Vicente Pelagio, what was your first obstacle in the beginning of your real estate journey, and what did you gain from it?
Oh, give me that music. I'm ready. What was your first obstacle at the beginning of your real estate journey?
Yeah, you can answer
And
a little
what
bit.
did you gain from it? Okay, got it. One of my first obstacles was finding money, and then finding a deal, and then the mindset. But I think I got over the mindset before I did all that, because I was like, I don't have any money. I didn't grow up around money. So I think that was one of the toughest ones. Once I got all the information and really had the confidence, it was finding the first deal.
Yep.
But after that, the deals just kept flooding in. So there you go. Okay, next.
What would you do, from Larry Ho, what would you do if you were starting in today's market? Like, let's say you've lost everything, or, like you don't even know what you know, if that's even possible. What would you do
if I was starting in today's market, I would go to a RIA. I would find out the different wholesalers who has deals. Yeah, I would start with wholesalers, people that's already doing real estate, find out what they have and network. And knowing, be confident in what you want, right? But understand you're going to make mistakes. So be fearless, not fearful. All right?
And that's after you get the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the knowledge,
yeah. So, but I'll definitely, if I had the option, I would start. Some of you be like, man, I can start in Midwest and make money, but man, I probably would have started in California or Texas or something like that. Because for all the work you're doing, you just making more money.
That's true. Interesting question from Heather. Rain or Amrane? Amran, yeah. How did you overcome the fear of messing up your first deal? I'm kind of terrified and still looking.
Yeah, no, that's the worst feeling ever. Looking at your first deal is tough because you don't want to make a mistake. But fortunate for me, I've learned from all my mistakes. Like, you'll never learn until you start making mistakes. And so that's what I know a lot of people that can't have success because they're afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to fail. I've lost so much.
Yeah.
It's like it's not so bad. So I'm biased. I'm biased on doing, trying stuff new. Now, that I'm older, I don't get me wrong, I'm still a little fearful. I got a little fear, right? But I use that to empower me. Gary Kosa was like, how much percentage do you actually own in 1,400 doors and 4 hotels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's 1,500, Gary. And now it's about to be 5 hotels, Gary.
And how much percent do you own? More than you think, Gary. And more money than
Gary,
you ever make, Gary.
No, some deals, Gary, we own more than 30. Me and my partners own more, like me and the partners, like 30-something%, which makes up 60%. But look, on the real, most deals, these guys own 18%. Anywhere, when you're a GP, depending on how you set up your syndication, my syndication I do where we own 50 to 70%. So at minimum, there's deals I own 8%, all the way up to 100%.
Yeah.
So,
and
it varies.
Probably closer to 20-30%.
Yeah. So
average,
out of 100 something million, I'm now at like 20 million net worth, Gary. So
yeah,
whatever that, I don't really give a damn what percent I do. That's probably a lie, but I like that 20 million. Okay, Gary, thank you. Walk through your last deal you did. How did you source? Okay, Brett, my last deal, I did Sarasota. That's my last deal I've done so far. My operator / operator from my hotel brought the deal to me, but I passed on it the first time. Because I was like, man, it was before I was ready to do bigger deals on this size, on this capacity. It was like, how much equity you need? $8 million. I was like, man, close that book and put it back on the shelf. But then I met my partner, Rodrigo. He wanted to get into developments. And then I was like, well, I'm confident. And then I was able to put a team together. And so my hotel team does developments. Rodrigo does condo developments. I had another engineer that does developments, so I felt great right there. So I put that team together. That's how I found it. So then I worked with the guy, because I'm going to have to say, I love Nick. Rodrigo, if you're still listening. Nick crazy. God bless you. Yeah. Nick crazy. He's a bat out of hell. But I love Nick. Nick is just a great guy, but he's crazy. And so I had to just be real with him. He had all these expectations. I was like, look, brother, it ain't going to happen. But if you want it that bad, you can keep it. And he's like, nah, we worked. It was a win-win for everybody. So then we negotiated. Now look, we negotiated over a year. Now, the one thing about letting time go, you can give up more or less with time. But the more you know about the deal, the less you got to worry about. But not closing or trying to push the closing back cost me a little bit. But I gained a little bit too. Meaning, because sometimes when your term expired, you don't have a valid contract, so people can renegotiate. Some will be in good faith, some won't be. Some will be to your advantage, some won't. All right. Then funding, I got with my brothers here, and they raised the first phase $5 million, and so we closed with 2 or 3 of my lawyers.
Nice.
And that was my deal in Sarasota, $5 million close.
And Brett. Since Brett
of an $81 million project.
This is an $81 million project. All right, cool.
We got anything else?
How long did it take you to build to that level?
20 years.
How did you do your second deal? Interesting.
Like my 2-family?
Well, that's your first deal, 2-family. But the deal after that, like what?
I did. I went, man, if you're saying the level to get started, man, that took time. Because I didn't go at it right away. I read about real estate when I was 15, 16, but I didn't do it till I was 27. Man, I wish I would have started when I was 15, 16. I was trying, but I didn't know anything about how to get money. That was my hurdle. I would have did it because I knew some kids. Their parents was bankrolling them to do deals. And I would look at my mom and dad, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Mama, daddy, lend me $100,000. They said, I can't say what they said, but let's just say they said, boy, if you don't take your ass downstairs and play your Atari, I don't like this boring ass Atari. It just got these two little balls that go beep, beep, beep.
What were you playing, Pong?
Yeah, you know, the tennis Atari. Okay, what else we got?
Next question. How did you start to scale to hotels? How can someone prepare for hotel investing if starting with SDRs?
You say STDs?
STRs. Short-term rentals.
Oh, okay. Now, how did I start, man? The hotel thing, I mean, that was always a goal that I wanted to do, but it kind of was an accident. I was really trying to do a development where we did commercial office space and apartments. And then my guy Berger was like, nah, man, we're going to do these hotels. And I was like, okay. And my first attempt at the hotel, I lost. And the development, and it was my first attempt at the development, and I lost $400,000. But through that process, I learned what it took to put a team together. I learned what it needed to do that. So somebody asked earlier, like, you know, how do you get past that fear? You just do it. And now when I came up against this next development, I was more educated and more aware and more efficient on what team I needed to be successful.
And you're more aware of what can go wrong too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really knew what was going wrong.
Crucial.
And time was everything.
Which, by the way, in our mastermind, that's one of the things that I think the mastermind members benefit the most is when they show us a deal, we tell them, hey, don't do this dumb shit. You will lose $400,000 with this one, right? So because you've done the mistakes, like over the past 20 years. I mean, people don't have to repeat them if they're willing to listen. That is,
Here, where's my phone? I gotta turn my Instagram. Oh, I need to charge my phone because this battery's about to go dead. Okay.
So
If you charge it, can they hear me on Instagram with my phone in the charger? Okay. Yeah. All right. So, what was the next question?
well, let's answer some questions from Apartment Investment Secrets.
Okay.
We've been answering questions from the Burr Invest group. So let's see here. Oh, this is a great question from Binaya
What's she say?
Poindexter.
If you had to do it all over again, what would have been the fastest route to your first million, and what is the amount you need to get this net completed? So the market is so much different than when I first started. But I would have did a large apartment, or I would have went down to Florida on the coastal. And well, because I'm more skilled now, right? I didn't have that skill set at the time, right? But I would go down and build a house on the coastal for $2 million, $2 or $3 million, and then sold it for 6 or 8. Then I would have took that $3 million and leveraged it into apartment, and then I would have took that money again and kept flipping houses to buy apartments and hotels, which is actually what we're about to start doing.
Nice.
It's just I've been so busy on new projects, I haven't had time to go find a house to flip. But the money is ridiculous. I got partners that in Florida, man, he flips 1 or 2 houses a year to net $2 or $4 million. I'm over here like, what? So I mean, it's just money. Every level there's money. It just depends on what level you want to play on.
Cool. Eddie Reyes, should I build a home or business first?
That's a good question. It depends on the opportunity. If you really know real estate, I'll build a home, right? Because it's always there. But if you got an opportunity to build a business that generates income, it just depends. Like when I first started doing real estate, a lot of people were flipping houses. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to keep working so hard, going hunting every month to find my next deal. So I found real estate that I could be a passive investor. That created passive income, that generated income. Then I got to a point where I was generating $6 to $10,000 a year. I could sit back and
A month.
a month and breathe, right? And wait for the next nice deal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how my life is now. I'm not aggressively going to find deals. I'm waiting for the right deal.
Yeah. I mean, Mike, you are so picky on the kind of deals that you do. Like, sometimes, like, it's like frustrating that, man, you can make like $1 million, and to you it's like, no, $1 million, that's nice to make, but it will take me away from my family, right? Or I will have to work too hard. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
talk
kind
about
of
being choosy or being picky on the kind
Yeah, I
of
mean, I'm
things that
kind
you
of
do.
my last run, man. Like, I want to spend time coaching my son, man. We traveling, doing 7-on-7 football. We got multiple kids playing with us, and I don't want to take away from that. I'm sorry.
That's cool. Can you go over the tax benefits of owning multifamily versus single-family properties?
The reason the tax benefits on multifamily, it's a bigger project typically, not
Bigger
always, but you're doing larger renovations, and now the way taxes are set up, you can get a lot of the taxes. You can use your write-off for construction immediately once the property comes online. Also, because you're dealing with a bigger number, you'll have more depreciation versus the single-family property. And multifamily, that's the tax benefits. The overall benefits is you got one asset right there, instead of multiple properties all over the location. So, that's one of the things that we like most.
So we have 5 minutes to answer some of this question. So from David Joseph Valadez, how do you fund your first multifamily apartment and get approval based on self-employed income under 100,000?
What? No, I'm just kidding. All right, how do you fund your first multifamily apartment and get approval based on self under 100,000? Okay. So, yeah, one of the big things is the one thing self-employed people do, which is so understandable, but it hurts you, is they don't report all their income. And I get it, because you're trying, or even if you report it all, you don't show it all because you want to write it all off so you don't have to pay taxes. But by doing that, guess what? You look at your taxes, they saying, hey, you ain't make no money, so I can't lend you any money because you don't make enough money, right? So let's say you made 50 grand, or this guy said he made 100 grand a year, right? He's like, man, I don't want to pay, 20, 30% in taxes on that. That's 20, 30 grand. So you keep writing everything down so it looks like you only made $10,000, right? Hey, great. You didn't have to pay taxes. You only paid what, $2,000 in taxes? Okay, there's a benefit there. But nobody's going to lend you money.
That's true.
So the great thing about you're going to have to bite the bullet. So one way of doing it is you could, but it's going to create a little mess. I'm going to tell you that now. You could, dispute your taxes and say you only made that much money. But when you finally really have a property, go back and redo your taxes, what they call an amendment. And you go back and amend it, and then you're showing that you made that money, but you're going to have to pay that tax.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay that tax. And so one way or the other, you're going to have to pay the tax. So that's the good thing. But if you make less than 100 and you can find ways to gain depreciation, that then reduces your tax benefit. So people understand, banks understand depreciation. When you have depreciation, they will add it back in. So let's say on my hotel, I think I get like 50 grand a month, just one hotel in depreciation.
50 grand a month in depreciation.
Yeah.
That's
Which
crazy.
is like 600,000 in a year. Yeah. Yeah. Roughly.
So
more than that.
So you can literally make
So I can net 500 grand.
and not pay
But
any taxes
because I got 600 grand in depreciation.
on just one hotel. That's
One
crazy.
hotel.
That's crazy.
So it offsets it. And so, and then people understand that because they know it's a tax benefit. So,
Yep. Okay, last question.
last question.
What's the best way to gain credibility when you're just starting out? With so many spams and scams these days, people are more skeptical than ever. So what's the best way to bypass this skepticism? So I guess Tate is asking Tate Olson, like, when you're trying to raise money, you need to have credibility. But how do you gain credibility when you're just starting out?
I'm gonna tell you what I did. Like for the hotels, that was tough. Like I had credibility in the apartment sector, and I jumped into apartments, and people like, man, I ain't giving you no money, man.
You mean hotels? Yeah.
Hotels, like that's all. You know, how you gonna go from apartments to hotel? And so I put my team together, and I was humble enough that I stepped back. So instead of looking like I'm the matter of fact, you can look at my executive summary now.
Yeah, you're.
I don't think I changed it yet. I think it's time to. But on the executive summary, I had myself as a financial analyst. Yes, I was the guy to make the decisions. I was the guy that raised all the money. But when they looked at my team, guess what? They didn't look at me. They didn't look at Mike, the apartment owner. They looked at Mike as one of the members of this amazing team. We had with multiple people that had over 30 years of hotel experience. So it looked like, it showed that it focused on the people that were the leaders of my industry, which had a combined 100 years of real estate experience, and then of hotel experience, and then looked at me and Nate as just some guys that kind of help out and put stuff together. But now that we got 4 going on 5 hotels, I'm not saying I won't leave them on there, but now I'll put myself as the president and CEO. You know, it doesn't really matter anymore. Okay?
Cool.
Hey, man, that's it, man. I thank you. Giving everybody's a round of applause for quick Q&A today.
Mike's Millionaire Mindset Monologue.
Mike's Millionaire Mindset.
We should have like sound effects, for every segment.
Where are the sound effects? I don't know, man. I think we left a lot on the table here, man. One of the things is you just have to have the desire and the passion to want to achieve. Mm-hmm. And you must take the steps, and the steps are action. Hope is part of it, but it's not the strategy. Action is the strategy. Action is what makes it comes to life. Action and faith, believing, hoping, that gets you going, that begins the mind to think. But unless you take action, unless you take the steps, you're going to be in the same location. Look, even with my success, and some of you think, Mike, you really got it going on. I'm doing better than most. Let's just say that. I'm very humble of where I'm at, but I got partners that's killing it. They got multiple planes. Matter of fact, I love designer shirts, right? I got my Robert Grahams. I got my Gucci. I got a couple of cars. Man, I got people that won't buy none of that bullshit. But that's what I like to do. They don't do none of that. They got their house. He don't wear no fancy clothes. He probably still, the only reason he only wear flip-flops because his toenails are jacked up. And he wears the T-shirt every day and grinds every freaking day. And sitting on millions. I look up to him. I mean, he keeps me going. Nate, as crazy as he is, man, he's action, man. Nate just go hard in the paint every day, I'm like, Nate, shut up.
Calm down, Nate.
Yeah. I mean, he's so high energy. He goes after it. As I used to always say, you got to go after the fight. Sometimes the fight's going to come to you, but you got to still fight. And some of you don't want to fight. Some of you don't want to get in the ring. Some of you don't even want to be in the arena. Some of you don't even want to be on the sideline, but you want the rewards. I'm telling you now, I like the private jet life. I like having the nice cars. I like traveling with my kids and playing sports. I like coaching them. I like paying off my mom's mortgage, and I like that I pay for my niece's school, and I sponsor some other kids to go to a better school that benefits them. I like that I gave to my church, and we were able to remodel it and pay some bills off. But we took action. And if it wasn't for me taking action in real estate and not being fearful and leveraging that fear to catapult me into a higher education, because no matter, once you move out of your comfort zone, you're going to go into this area where it's unfruitful. Your fear, the fear could potentially hold you hostage. It can incarcerate you. It'll imprison not only your mind but your spirit, and then you held captive to this spirit of fear. But it's not until you try to break the change. You break the change with the new thought process. You start planting your seed of what you can do. Instead of just hoping, you go with a faith of certainty, knowing that it will happen, knowing that it's possible, and you imagine it. Because imagination is nothing but the preview of what's to come forward. So take action. Be fearless. Be of certainty. And get your swag, baby. And, man, put that work in, man, and it'll come to life, man. Hey, look, man, that's our time. I'm Mike Ely. Thanks so much for joining us. And I'll see you next week where I'll have no idea where I'm going to be. I think I'll be in Atlanta. Or I might be in Oklahoma. I don't know. I got to go somewhere, and then I'm on my way to Columbus now. So, look, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate you. But remember, you're one big deal away. Peace. Hey, our
Tracy
Bobacar
is here again.
oh, man, Tracy, Anita, Annabelle, baby, Dewan, Daniel, Drew Fitzgerald, Howard, Jay Phillips, Crystal, Lazarus. Hey, man, we brought him back. Malika, Matt, Miles, Pablo. What's up, man?
That's why Jesus wept, ain't it?
There you go. Rob, Shaw,
Sulaiman,
Teresa,
Thomas, Tracy, as always.
Victor, how you say?
Victor Palacios.
Man, that's a cool ass name. Oh, that's all
Palacios mean palace.
Okay, Eastman,
Yeah,
Womack,
Eastman.
and Katova.
Yeah, Yakira is,
Yakira's on it, man. She's been calling me. She was like, Mike, I need this info. You better give it to me. You better give me that info, Katir.
See, as a member of the mastermind, you got Mike's cell phone number.
Yeah, they was like, I was like, what the hell?
That's why I can't never get through.
Yeah, because Yakira be taking all. She be getting her answers.
Is that what Chucky is doing now? That's fine.
Yeah, no, she figured out the whole. Hey, she sent me a deal. I was like, girl, you better hurry up to send me that deal, cause she found something. I was like, that don't make it makes sense, but that don't make sense.
Oh, what is it?
She found some hotel deal, man. Like somebody was foreclosed and then they brought it back.
Really?
Yeah, we'll see. She got to get it over to me. She had some great info. Hey, man, but that's our time, man. Thanks. I got to go. I got to get out of here. Don't know. All right, peace out, man. Peace.
Yeah.